evening. Welcome back. It's Johnny. Yeah, you get this. You get to hear from me twice in less than 24 hours, right? It's 11:43 p.m., folks, and I'm doing my regular thing. Um, the father's been busy. Holy cow, has the father been busy? Remember, whenever we talk about astrology here on my little podcast here, we're talking about my connection to our solar father. The guy that brings light to all of us. And you remember, the solar father is 99% of our life, and he has a lot to do with earthquakes, right? And today we had an today we had a 7.1 magnitude earthquake just off one of the coasts of Japan, right? Japan. Okay, now look, guys, here we go. This is how it works. 7.1. Can you do the numerology on that? Because, the father, he likes to joke around too. He likes to send these little breadcrumbs to us and let us know that we're trying to connect with him. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to connect with him. So 7.1 was the magnitude of the earthquake. If we're going to do the numerology on that, 7 plus 1 is 8. Okay? Now you're going to love this. This is funny. This cracked me right up as soon as I saw this. We're going to pull this down and we're going to look at this. It's a 7.1 quake, okay? August is the 8th month of the year. Today is the 8th of the month. And then look at this. Look at this. Look at this. It's 2024. It's 8. It is the 7.18 August. No one else has talked about this on any other podcast. And here the sun is at 16 degrees Leo. Okay, 16 degrees Leo, according to Placidicus house. Okay, because I'm pretty sure this looks like a Placidicus house chart over here for Japan. I found this chart right here. This is where I found it, right here. I said, we got the little question, what is the best mundane astrology chart for Japan? And this gentleman right here, he says, this is the one he was gone with right here. This is the one he's gone with. I'm pretty sure. Is this the one right here? Or is it this one? This one is 2 up. That one doesn't have any votes. But this one has 2 up, and this is the chart I took right here. April 28th. Now, you're going to love these jokes, right? There's these little breadcrumbs that are on here with this chart, because it's April 28th, and look at the chart. It's the ascendant is 28 degrees Sagittarius, and the moon is 28 degrees Gemini. It's that little jokey kind of thing, right? What can you do, right? And look, this is the funny part. The funniest part of this is that we have Japan with a Taurus sun at 8 degrees. Is that quite delirious when we have a 7.1, which is 8 on the 8th month, in the 8th day, in the 224, and 4 is the 8th year? It's all about the sun, right? It's all about the sun. The father is absolutely talking to us. I mean, I can't argue with myself about this. But look at this, guys. This is a really great. These are really great charts to look at. When you look at here we have the monster house for Japan. Who do we find in the monster house? That 8th house. Who do we find in that Scorpio house, the monster house? We find Pluto, right? He's at home. And then when we look at the quake is at 16 degrees 15 minutes. Vista is there. So at 16 degrees 15 minutes, it's only 3 degrees out. The sun's only 3 degrees out, with a conjunction with the natal Pluto of Japan. And then when we're looking around here some more here, what else can we find? I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that we We can see here there's a sextile with a natal. Just the conjunction with the Pluto. The underworld guy. The underworld guy. The earthquake is like 12 kilometers deep, right? It's the underworld. And then I noticed that, look at here, the node is actually squared the moon. A node is actually trine the moon here for Japan. But when we look here, that's quite interesting to think about that, because here Japan is such a leader in futuristic technologies and building vehicles and what have you. But when we go on and we look at other things here, Japan has a Saturn, or Japan has a Mercury in Aries at 12 degrees, which would be like trine. That would be like trine the sun. And then what else we got going on here? We have a sun that's pretty much squaring Mars and Leo, or not, sorry, Mars and Scorpio. My fault. Excuse me, please. But it's crazy, right? And look at the horizon here. He's just a wisecracker. He even gave us Capricorn. He gave us Saturn. He gave us Saturn as the ruler of the chart. But he gave us an 8-degree Capricorn, right? And look at Ceres. Ceres is there conjunct the 8 degrees, and it's just 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. It's so crazy, right? If you love eights, and if you worship the importance of the number 8, this is the podcast for you. I absolutely love numerology. I love polymorphing, So when we look here, we go on more often. We go some more at this. We can look at what else can we find that's interesting with this chart? There's lots of things, right? Once again, we said that Saturn is the ruler of the chart, and here we are. Boundaries are dissolved. Saturn in Pisces, right? And Capricorn, right? It makes sense, right? But most important, let's take a look here. What's happening? Saturn is squaring Jupiter, and that. But the thing is, look at the moon. Look at the moon, guys. I had to agree with this guy's chart, right? Just because, look at the moon. The moon is at 29 degrees Virgo. The moon's at 29 degrees. Juno's at 29 degrees Virgo, right? And then we have, what? What do we have? We have the dragon's tail. The dragon's tail is has an in conjunction with the sun in Taurus at 8 degrees for Japan's chart. But look at this. Look at this also, guys. You're gonna love this. Jupiter for Japan. Jupiter. This is why it's very important to understand those trines are. They got a two-edged sword as well, right? Because here we have Jupiter at 29 degrees, and it's trying the moon, the crescent moon of the quake, because we're into the crescent moon now. This is the crescent moon quake. It's absolutely brilliant, guys. It's another brilliant chart. It's another brilliant chart for an event that was significant, and the charts line up. Like, who is the spirit, right? It says, Johnny, you gotta do these charts, right? Holy cow. Who is this? Because supposedly, if this is a Vedic chart, if this is Vedic astrology, I wouldn't be ruled by the sun, right? And we could look at what's happening with the sun. There's major activity coming from the sun right now. There's storms all over the place right now, and there's all the sunspots are facing us right now. But look, guys, I just want to show you these charts. Of course, when you're looking at my charts do line up all the time, right? When you actually look at this, it's quite easy, right? Because the moon for Japan is at 28 degrees Gemini. That would be squared my natal moon at Pisces, right? And then Pluto for Japan's chart would be not too far It would not be too far from my Jupiter and my Sun, right? Look at this; it's pretty close. I mean, all these are, and then again, once again, the Mercury for Japan is actually conjunct my natal Saturn, and it goes on and on and on, right? It goes on and on and on until the break of dawn here, right? This is how it works with these. But I really like the Mars placement. The Mars here in Scorpio, 11 degrees. It would actually be sextile my natal Venus. But when we're looking at these charts right here, and going back to the Quake, seeing that Saturn. I mean, you look at the Saturn here, 18 degrees, in Libra, or Saturn's in Pisces, sorry. And then they have a Saturn in Libra, which is at home, right? No wonder they're such amazing craftsmen, right? You have the Saturn in Libra, we're at home, they're all about, they're all about the structure, right? They're so structured with what they do, and and the Japanese are extremely fair people as well. I mean, look at them. This is right here. This 1952 time period is after the World War II, so it's a whole entire different organization than the governments that actually attacked the U.S. So we have to recognize that as well. The other thing that's very good to watch is that we have that 27 degrees node. We have that 27 degrees node in Aquarius, right? So when you're looking at that node in Aquarius at 27 degrees, what do you see, my friend? What do you see? The moon has another in conjunction going on with their node, right? It's absolutely crazy how this all works, how it all comes together. And then here we have the dragon's head, but see, the dragon's head here would be just past their Mercury, right? And you would have to go back 5 degrees, go back 5 degrees and see what kind of quakes they were having back then. Very cool charts, guys. Hope you got something out of this video. Pretty simple, straightforward stuff. I mean, it's earthquakes, and once again, Earth on the horizon, water, Earth and water. Pretty simple stuff, right? I mean, look how great this is. This is actually perfect, right? I mean, if you look at how everything's placed, it works absolutely well with this, especially with them having a Capricorn first house anyway, right? I mean, you can think about, because they're the land, and then there's the ocean, and here look at their chart, guys, because they have a Uranus in the 7th house, right? Here Uranus is in the 7th house of Venus and Saturn, so then you have that Cancer overlap of the moon, so the moon is rules the tides, like tsunamis, right? And you can see this Uranus in the 7th house is the unpredictable calamity that can happen from a tsunami, right? That's that Uranus. But most important, we have to look at that monster house of Pluto, right? In the underworld of where the earthquakes happen. And then you got the 9th house here, and there you got Saturn and Neptune, right? But you have Saturn there in Jupiter's house, and Neptune's there as well. The ocean and, the earthquakes, right? It's absolutely good because the motion of the earthquake is still Jupiter, right? Just amazing charts, don't you think? Look, I've made a mess of the desktop here, but I'll let you go. I hope this hasn't bored you too much. Always higher learning here, and the Mercury retrograde, it continues. What does the Mercury retrograde look like? Let's take a look at the Mercury retrograde. Let's see how this works with the Japan's chart really quick before we forget. So let's get rid of me, and then we'll go back to the Quake. We'll look at the Mercury retrograde at 3 degrees Virgo, right? So the Mercury retrograde at 3 degrees Virgo would be, look where it would be, guys. It'd be in the monster house. It would be transiting the monster house. There's all kinds of stuff. There's all kinds of transiting energy through that monster house. And what's coming down here? So that's at Mercury at 3 degrees. I guess it would be trying the ascendant. How could we miss it? It would be trying the ascendant, and Venus would be. I mean, you look at that. This is actually pretty good when you think about this. Mercury and Venus are trying the Japan's ascendant on this, and there hasn't been any serious. Through this quake, even though it's 7.1, a lot of people are doing okay, right? There's been some bad buildings that have taken on some serious damage, but there's no major fatalities. There's no huge fatality list or huge injury list on this one. There's probably some injuries, but not a whole bunch, right? But look, I'll let you go. Hope you enjoyed the show. Keep sharp, and polish that blade every day, and cut the paper nice, and think of the Father thrice.